Welcome to 2024 World Tai Chi and Qigong Day. I'm Dr. Lyle Wilson. I have Winchester Qigong up on Valley Avenue.
I'm Adrienne Van Karen. I have Tai Chi Healing Energies. Thank you all so much for getting up early and coming out to celebrate my absolute favorite holiday with me. Despite the fact that the weather didn't cooperate, we're super excited to be here. The point behind World Tai Chi and Qigong Day is to unify all of the Tai Chi and Qigong players and practitioners together, starting at 10 a.m. in New Zealand on the 27th. And New Zealand is the first time zone. Any Tai Chi players start practicing there. The theory is that begins a wave of good energy that builds on itself and goes across each successive time zone. Beijing, China was practicing at about 10 p.m. last night, so that wave is building and going across the entire United States. And we are so excited to be able to participate and to grow into that.
We're going to begin with a brief grounding, just to get us prepared to move our energy well. So I'd like you to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, feet parallel, toes pointing forward. Just distribute your weight evenly between left and right, ball and heel. Drop down with a little bit of flex in your knees. Tuck your hips under just a little bit. Just waggle them back, waggle them underneath, and then allow them to rock back underneath you nicely. That opens an important energy center called the gate of vitality, just about the second lumbar vertebra area, and allows our energy to rise up, what I'll call the Tai Chi pole, and explain just a little bit more, but it gets that energy all the way up to the top of the head and begins a circulation through microcosmic orbit that then flows out into all 12 of our bilateral meridians. So I'm going to give you some points in the body to think about. The lower dantian is our primary energy reservoir, just below the belly button and in the center of the mass of our body. Middle dantian is at heart level, and the upper dantian is up just above and between the eyes and also in the center of the body. What is connecting those three primary energy centers in our body is called the Tai Chi pole. And this microcosmic orbit of energy flows through a centerline vessel in the back of the body that runs through the spine, runs over the head, connects just behind the upper front teeth, and connects to the end of the tongue with the Ren or conception vessel on the front center line. And we're going to be using that circulation of energy throughout the morning this morning. I want us all to just check in now. We've got a nice foundation. We want to let our arms relax, our shoulders to relax. Have the eyes on the horizon. Put the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, just behind the upper front teeth. We're going to inhale and exhale through our nose. And to begin tapping into the energy of the earth, the yin energy of the earth, I want you to imagine that we're sending a taproot down from the bottom of our feet from a point called bubbling spring, kidney 1 point on the kidney meridian. And I want you to make that taproot sink deeply into the earth until it is 3 times as deep as you are tall. And we're going to feed some energy down into that taproot so that it's nice and big around and sturdy and can reach through tougher soil so that we've got a great beginning. And now I want you to begin to send branching roots out in all directions from that taproot until they are also 3 times as long as each of us are high. Send some energy down through that root system to open it up and wake it up. Open the pores on the surface of those roots, and then draw that energy back up and start the flow of that yin energy throughout that branch and trunk root network until it comes right up through the bottom of the feet, through the legs, right up into this lower dantian. Feel that lower dantian begin to fill with that beautiful earth energy. Let's take a couple of nice deep abdominal breaths here. Feeling our connectedness with earth. Feeling that each of our branches of our root systems have reached out and connected with one another through our network of our root system. So now we're connected together in this room, in this space. And from this beautiful rootedness, I want us to begin moving gently in a rotational way. Welcome. We're just rotating around a longitudinal axis that connects us with the earth right up through the center of our bodies, up to the heavens, through the top of our heads. We refer to these as, in Qigong, or certainly my Tai Chi fellow refers to these as the loosey-goosey bears.
Yes, that is the technical name for them.
The technical name, loosey-goosey bears. In Qigong, we certainly appreciate form and the flow that it accords us for our energy, but you will often find that Qigong sets are less focused on exacting form in the learning process, and so therefore the connotation of being more loosey-goosey, certainly with these bears. It really affords us the opportunity to get our energy flowing very nicely. From a Western medicine standpoint, anatomical standpoint, there's lots of things going on here. We're activating and energizing our proprioceptive nervous system. We're loading in and energizing our fascial system that has this beautiful piezoelectric quality. When we stretch and deform our fascial system, we create a microcurrent of electricity that is part of our signaling system in our body. Well, all of that is happening as we do this simple rotational movement. Now, in just a second more, once I'm feeling like we're nicely warmed up, we're going to see how this evolves in this dance and relationship between Qigong and Tai Chi.
So, as Lyle alluded to, Tai Chi has a little bit more structure, a little bit more rules to follow. Tai Chi, as well as being the higher art, is also an internal martial art. I'm glad a couple of you heard what I said and giggled at that. So Tai Chi is considered to be an internal martial art because we're going to take this energy that we're using, this wide, expressive, turning energy, and we're going to bring it to the inside. So I'm going to slow my turns down just a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit more mindful of that weight shift back and forth from foot to foot. So I'm going to have you all drop your awareness down into those feet, into that rooted energetic system that Lyle guided us through growing. We're going to shift our weight back and forth from side to side through the feet. Focusing on the feet makes it a little bit more structured so that we're not doing this with the hips and going back and forth. Really want that weight shift to go from foot to foot. Your turns are also going to get a little bit smaller. And I want you to pay attention to what side of your body you're weighted on as you're turning. So when I am turning to my left, I'm weighted on my left. When I'm turning to the right, I'm weighted on the right. So we're going to bring that same energy that we were just using for those really expressive bears. We're going to bring it to the inside. The smaller turns from the waist are said to put compression on that lower dantian. When I've got that compression on my lower dantian, I'm getting more energy moving around my body. That happens, it's almost like wringing out a wet shirt and getting water out of it. So our feet are rooted and our head top is rooted to the heavens above. So that is why we're getting more energy moving out of the lower dantian as we do these bears. I will say, for the most part, bears are nobody's favorite exercise. So in just a couple of minutes, we're going to let you come to a stop with these. I'm going to ask that you feel, when we come to a stop with these, I'm going to ask that you look for a sensation of spiraling going on within the body. So let's go ahead, come to a very gentle stop with these bears, letting that motion just kind of come down. Yeah, see, I told you all you get warmer once you got up and started moving your chi. Not so cold in here now. All right, the next thing we're going to do is an exercise called drawing down heavens. We are going to gather energy. We are going to bring it into the body through that Tai Chi pole. Our intention is going to be that energy we're bringing in kind of scrubs our energetic system so we can get rid of any stuck, nasty, icky chi that's hanging out. So what we're going to do, nice and grounded, is inhale, sweeping the arms up. And then on an exhale, we're going to slowly deliver that energy into the body. Good. And then again, inhaling, gathering energy, exhaling, bringing that energy into all three dantians through that Tai Chi pole. And do that again. Nice. So one of the things that Tai Chi and Qigong affords you the option to do is to really get to know yourself and your body and deliver what your body needs. So when I do this exercise again, I might have my palms down towards the ground the entire time and then let them rotate overhead like that. That is said to be bringing in all grounded yin energy. An example of somebody that needs more grounded energy is honestly somebody that feels ungrounded all the time, somebody that might be overthinking things. They might spend too much time in their own head and they might have chronic headaches. That's somebody that's going to want to bring in all grounded yin energy. Other times we might want to bring in all of that heavenly yang energy by keeping the palms up and in like that. An example of somebody that needs more heavenly yang energy might be somebody that's feeling stuck in place. They've made the decisions, they know what they need to do, but their feet are so rooted they just can't move. If that's you, you're going to bring in more of that heavenly energy. If you're balanced, you're going to do what we just did. Keep the palms down until roughly shoulder height, then rotate them overhead so that you're bringing in that balance of grounded yin energy and heavenly yang energy. So now go ahead, connect back in, get nice and grounded again. Don't think about it, but offer your body the opportunity to gather the energy it wants. So doesn't matter what you did before, what your neighbor's doing, we're going to go ahead and inhale, gathering the type of energy we need right now. And then on an exhale, deliver that into the body. Repeat that 2 more times. Once more. Very nice. Hopefully you noticed a slight difference when you gave your body what it asked for versus when you were just following the leader.
We're going to move now in our progression to an exercise that a lot of people just call hearts. It's a fire element exercise. We have 4 meridians associated with the fire element: the heart, the small intestine, the heart protector or pericardium, and maybe my favorite meridian, the triple warmer. We're going to get to really activate and energize all 4 of these. All of those meridians are in the arms and in the lateral torso and then up into the head. We're going to do an exercise that wants me to tell you about a couple more points. There are points in the palms of the hands on that pericardium meridian that I just mentioned called the Lao Gong points. And to be specific about it, if you just take your ring and middle fingers and curl them right down into your palm, the spot between those 2 fingers is the pericardium 8 point. So that's a point that we can flow energy out of very readily. It's also one that we can draw energy into as we need to. We're going to utilize that point as part of what we're doing. I want to mention that that conception vessel that I talked about, that front center line vessel, we're going to be drawing energy up from the lower dantian, up to the heart, up to the middle dantian. Heart 1, the very first point on the heart meridian, is right in the middle of each axilla. All of these meridians are bilateral, and so we're going to find ourselves really opening up our axillas, opening up that heart 1 point as part of the movements that we're doing. And we're physically going to be describing a heart in the chi that surrounds us. So from this posture that we utilized when we began grounding, which in Qigong is often called the Wu Ji posture, we're going to sweep our hands over to the midline and have the backs of our palms touch each other. We're going to do a nice, long, slow inhale, drawing those hands up to heart level, bringing that yin and lower dantian energy right up to the hearts. We're going to lead up with our elbows until they're way up in the sky, opening up that heart 1 meridians and points. And then we're going to sweep up, gathering yang energy from the heavens, drawing it back down. As we come to the center line again, we'll rotate our hands so that the back of the hands come together again. And this is the exercise. We're inhaling up, drawing yin energy up to our heart space, opening our heart 1 points to really get the heart energies flowing. Once you've got the arm movements down and are feeling comfortable with them, let's add in just a little bit of a flex of the knees as we bring our hands down to the starting point. And then as we draw the hands up, moving that energy up, let's extend the knees so that we're sending our head a little further into heaven. This is such a beautiful way to engage both the yin and yang aspects of fire, to balance us, to have us acting out of our heart space, which according to classic Chinese medicine is where our mind resides. It is the meeting hall of the heart, who is the empress of all of the other elements, all of the other organs in the classic Chinese medicine system. Let's do 2 more of these. Allow yourself to settle back into that Wu Ji posture. check in with yourself. Feel any differences that you may be experiencing about your overall warmth, a greater ease, any points of discomfort that have been identified in your body because of this movement and enhancement of the flow of qi in your body. When you find that any such more challenging area, just take your attention and loving kindness and awareness to that point for just a moment. Breathe the breath into it. And we'll move along to our next.
Speaking of breathing, the next thing we're going to do is breathe together, which hopefully we have been doing up to this point. I think there's a pretty good chance that we have because nobody's passed out yet. So what we are going to do is to do a type of Tai Chi breathing method. We're going to practice reverse. More than the first or second inhale, you're still remembering to pull your stomach in and you're not experienced with this breathing, you're doing really well. Just remind yourself occasionally, oops, I want to pull my stomach in when I inhale. So for this, a couple of things. When we do these movements, we're going to go through the breathing at least twice, maybe 3 times. The first time through, I am going to talk us through it. If you've seen the breathing, then you're going to have a lot easier time with this. I'm going to be your mirror as we do this. So when I say left, I mean your left. You'll see me do things with my right and vice versa. It's 50-50 as to if I actually know my left from my right on my best days. So doing the mirror, we'll see how it works. Left is always going to go first, meaning that we'll turn and look over the left shoulder first. When we get to this part, the left arm will go up first. Your right hand comes up, not a big deal. There's going to be 2 parts in this breathing where I will not be mirroring all of you. First part, I'm not going to mirror any of you. We're going to come up and bring the arms in front of the body. The right hand is going to be on top. My right hand will always be on top. If I try to put my left hand on top, it just feels funky, so I'm not going to do it. The next time, I am not going to be your mirror, or the mirror for some of you. There's a slight discrepancy. We'll get to one part where we're going to be here. We'll turn and look over each shoulder following the breath. Ladies, you will have your right hand inside your left hand. Gentlemen, you will have your right hand to the outside. So if you look at the difference between the way Lyle and I are, that's the difference between male and female. Okay? Yep, female, right hand to the inside, gentleman, right hand to the outside. All right, so we're going to start off by getting nice and grounded in. Go ahead, pay attention to those tap roots growing beneath the feet, to the head top rising towards the heavens. We'll put the awareness on that lower Dante in, and then hang. We'll inhale, drawing the stomach in, and ha. Hang, the arms cross in front, right wrist on top, ha. Hang, we'll take those wrists, flip them through, and ha. Let them rise back up. Hang, ha. Hang, drawing into the lower Dantian, ha. Hang, ha. Hang, slight variation here. We're going to stretch up. Ha. Hang. Ha. This is where we have those hands folded. Hang. We're going to inhale and look over the left shoulder. And ha. Head comes back to center. Hang. Inhaling and looking right. Ha. Hang. Looking left. Ha. Hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, hang. Now let those arms come up in front of the body. And ha. Drop your weight through the soles of the feet. We'll bend to follow. Hang, inhale, rise from those rooted feet. And ha. Again, exhaling, dropping the weight through the soles of the feet. We'll bend to follow. Hang. This time we're rising from the feet. One more time. Ha. Hang. This time the arms cross in front of the body. Left arm goes up. Ha. Left arm goes up to push on heaven. Right arm pushes on earth. Hang. Ha. Right arm goes up. Good job. Hang. Circle those arms back around. Ha. Hang. Ha. One more time each side. Hang. Ha. Hang. Ha. Hang. Now both arms go out to the sides. Ha. Hang. Now we're just repeating the beginning. You guys know this. Ha. Hang. Flip those wrists through. And ha. Last exhale. Good job. Okay, so honest question. How many of us remembered to practice the reverse breathing? All right, got a few hands going. How many of us are just thankful we made it through that breathing sequence? Yeah, there we go. That means we're going to do it again. I am going to take just a second to talk about one of my favorite parts in the breathing, which is probably the part that made you go, what in the world am I doing? And that's where we are separating heaven and earth. So we gather yang energy with the hand that's up. We're gathering yin energy with the hand that's down. We circle those hands back around, bring them back to center, and then the other hand is driven up to separate heaven from earth. We're going to gather now with this hand, that yang energy. This one's gathering yin. We're going to bring them back into center like this, and then the other hand will go up, gather that energy, circle them back in, and let the other hand come up. If you notice, I see some of you picking up on the fact that I'm up here kind of bobbing like a cork as I do this. That's because there is a crossover to the central nervous system. For Tai Chi principles and practicalities, what that means is if I am rooted and grounded on my left side, then Chi is concentrated in this hand, and vice versa. I'm grounded here, Chi is here. So when I'm here, in order to drive my hand up, I am allowing a little bit more of my weight to shift to that opposite side. I'm going to come back in here where I am double weighted, weights even, in order to drive the other hand up. Yep, you guys are getting it. A little bit more of that weight is on the other side. So coming back in, driving that other hand up, coming back, and repeating that. Both Tai Chi and Qigong in time will get the entire body working together. This is one of those ways that unification process starts. Okay, so in this, we also want to be soft. So I'm going to ask you all to get grounded again as we go through this. Try to get soft through the legs, soft through those whole bodies, so that way if your body wants to shift weight, you can automatically find that. Okay, nice and grounded in, and we'll begin again. Hang, inhaling, ha. Hang, arms cross in front. Ha. Hang, keep those wrists together and flip them through. Ha, the hands separate and rise. Hang. Ha. Hang, we're drawing into that lower dantian here. Ha. Hang. Ha. Hang. This is where we get to stretch up. Ha. Hang. Ha. Nice. Hang. Turning and looking over the left shoulder. Ha. Head back to center. Hang. Turning and looking right. Ha. Hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, hang, ha, hang. Now we're inhaling, lifting energy up. Ha, we drop it through the soles of the feet. We'll bend to follow. Hang, inhaling, rising. Ha, hang, ha, hang. Let those arms cross in front of the body. Left arm goes up. Ha. Hang. Ha. Hang. Ha. Hang. Ha. Hang. Ha. Hang, ha. Hang. Now both arms go out to the sides. Ha. Hang, ha. Hang, ha. Good. All right, now, how many of us felt like that went a little bit better the second time? Okay, good. I promise the more you practice that, the easier it gets. On average, if you practice it in class, it takes about a year before a student gets really comfortable and familiar with that. Is that about right, Kate? Yeah. All right.
My goodness, we're doing primordial.
We are, I know.
This is likely my favorite type of Qigong. This is my daily, whatever else I add into this Qigong called primordial or Wuji Qigong is my default. I do this each time. We're going to learn one circuit of earth and heaven. Know that in the full practice, you would do 4 circuits of this, beginning each circuit facing in a direction. We're going to pretend that y'all are facing east. I don't know what, I think that may be west, but we're going to pretend you're facing east because that's the classic place to start this. Although, if you have something going on that wants western or northern or southern energies, we'll talk about that a little bit, or maybe you can come to a class where we'll have more time to talk about it. But this primordial Qigong draws from the primary elemental energies that you may have heard about, referred to as the 5-element system of classic Chinese medicine. We're working in each of those energetic directions, the earth element being the center. So we are standing in our earth element, pivoting to each of the other cardinal directions as we make our moves. We're going to learn the components of this and a couple of more parts and points and then we'll put it all together and make those movements. So we begin in that Wuji posture with our groundedness. We're going to separate heaven and earth a little bit differently, separate yin and yang a little bit differently. I'm going to be your mirror here, so I want you to experience this going. I'll probably call out also door and window as far as directions go. So the first thing we're going to do is the opening movement, which just has us from this grounded position, feeling the energy rise up out of our root system, coming right up through and animating our arms, sweeping out with the elbows not locked but extended up to shoulder height, then drawing those hands back toward the shoulder, and then allowing them to float down to our beginning posture. We're going to then just gently sweep the right hand underneath and put the left hand on top, working with this nice ball of energy here. And we're going to separate the heaven and earth, or the yin and yang, in this ball of energy. And we're going to take that right hand and we're going to sweep it up to our left side. At the same time, we're going to take that left hand and sweep it down behind our right hip. We're going to bring that hand up so that we're looking right into that Lao Gong point that I was talking about before. We've turned our torso to the side. We're looking right at that Lao Gong point. The Lao Gong point of the left hand is pointing straight down into the earth to gather that energy. We're then simply going to take this right hand and we're going to swing it in over top, and it's going to go on top of the ball this time. Left hand is going to come in underneath, and we're just going to hold the ball in the other orientation. And we're going to separate yin and yang going out to the left now. Same thing. Now, we're going to turn our torso back to the front, and we're going to expand both of our arms out, because we're going to gather a big bolus of chi from the surrounding atmosphere, and we're going to draw that right into our heart space, stopping with our hands out, maybe a foot in front of us, as if we're hugging a loved one. We're then going to let our elbows drop down, which will allow us to hold that ball of energy on each side. So this is heart level energy, and we want to ask ourselves to experience our world by taking this heart energy up to our mouth for any speaking that we do out into the world, and our mind for any thoughts that we have of the world. We're going to take this energy out into the world and down, and then we're going to draw it back in at that lower dantian level, and we're going to bring it back up to the upper dantian level. Now we're going to do a fun thing. This next piece is called The Dragon Polishes the Pearl. So we're going to rotate out to our right, and we're going to polish the pearl with our paws so that our right elbow is lifting up, our left elbow is lifting up. And then we want to flatten our hands out so that we're making a little rectangle of our hands. And we're viewing our world through this window, looking into our own past, looking into our own future, finding the wisdom in our past, mistakes and successes, and bringing that into our present moment to propel us into the future. We're going to back those hands back out so that we've got the ball between our dragon claws again, and we're going to polish it, rotating it all the way around to the other side, and then flatten that window out again so that we can look here. And it's so much fun. We're going to do it one more time, rotating out to the right. Now we want to turn our torsos back to the front. We want to send that right hand out and down and underneath, so it's going to be cradling that ball of energy again. Left hand on top. Okay. Beautiful opening. We're now going to do a series of moves that's also going to ask us to turn to each of the cardinal directions. What we're going to do in this direction is we're going to just rotate this ball of energy. We're just going to send our lower hand out and around. The upper hand circles in behind, and we're just going to rotate one full rotation until we've got our right hand down underneath again. Let's do that again. We're just going to rotate it around. Play with the hand positions, though. As long as you end up back in this position holding this ball of energy, you're in great shape. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Here we're going to learn the move. What we're going to do is shift our weight over to our right leg. We're going to pick up the ball of our left foot. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees out, and then set that ball of that foot back down, shift most of our weight over onto this left foot, step around with the right foot so that we're matching again. And then we're going to move our hands to the sides of our ball. And this time, we're going to send that right hand out, shifting the weight to the right, and then send the left hand out, shifting the weight to the left, and then send the right hand down one more time, sending that weight out to the right. Okay, so that's the movement. Let's do that movement one more time. Out, out, out. We're going to do that next turn while we're already weighted. Notice we ended up weighted on this foot. So we're just going to turn that foot again, load up, step around. When we do that, we're going to put our hands top and bottom again. So we've got our hands just like so, and we're going to send that ball spinning one full time, right? And we're going to shift our weight, turn again, step up to meet it, and now we're back to the side orientation. Okay? Hands on the side of this ball of energy, we're going to send our left hand out, right hand out, left hand out, right hand out, and that was the fourth one, right? On the fourth one, we're going to do something different now. So we've faced each cardinal direction. We're going to just bend down, open our arms, gather some earth energy, sweeping up, and we're going to stroke. And we're going to do this a total of 10 times. So that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at where we're weighted. After the 10th one, we're weighted right over here to give us the opportunity to turn. We're going to step. We're going to do that fancy sweep if we want to, but we're going to end up with that same chi ball with our right hand underneath and our left hand on top. Right? So now we're going to stroke the dragon's beard again. We're going to do this in each of the cardinal directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're weighted where we want to be, so we're going to do the rotation. Come around, get your right hand underneath, and we're going to separate heaven and earth. And then we're going to sweep that right hand over, and we're going to stroke that dragon's beard. And I'm completely lost count because I'm blissing out and having some fun. So we're going to call this 10, and we're going to shift and step and get ready again. And here's our fourth direction. So we're going to do this one more time. Stroke the dragon's beard. After the fourth one, we're going to add a little ending phase to this heaven. We've got to be getting close to 10. Okay, so on the 10th one, as we stroke the beard, we're going to take that other hand and we're going to just come in and stir all of that yin and yang energy that we've gathered into the lower dantian. By stirring right around that lower dantian, we're going to do that 10 times. And then once we do that 10 times, we're going to do just like we did at the end of the earth cycle. We're going to bend down and gather some energy. It's a little bit of a difference on this one. When we come down and we reach that lower dantian level, we're going to sweep our hands out to the side, then turn them up and over, and drop it back down to the posture. Okay. We just did a full heaven and earth cycle with lots of coaching. Now we're going to do it, since y'all know this, I'm going to do it with no coaching whatsoever. I'm just going to turn you loose and go. All right. So I'm going to be your mirror again. We're just going to go all the way through one earth cycle, one heaven cycle. What you want to know is that when we finish up the fourth heaven, the fourth direction of heaven, and we do that fancy thing at the end, we would just begin the next earth and heaven cycle facing in that direction. And then that would end up with us facing until. And so what happens is, one of the beautiful things about this is that we're actually, while we're turning counterclockwise with our turns, when we end up the end of each set, it's going clockwise. We've got these double spirals going. This exercise set is said to return us ever more inexorably toward our youth, toward the primordial beginning of our energies. So this is the fountain of youth. Okay. All right. So from our Wuji posture, paying awareness and sending some love down into our root system and back up. We're going to feel that upward flow of yin energy driving our hands up, drawing them back, settling them down, circling that right hand in underneath. We separate yin and yang, sweep that hand over top so that we're holding the ball in the opposite direction, and we're going to separate out the other way. We're going to turn and open out to hug and gather some chi, draw it in close to our heart space, drop our elbows down, form that chi ball, send the heart energy up to inform our speech and our thought, take it out into the world, draw it back up. We're going to turn and polish the pearl. Our dragon selves are going to polish the pearl. Look through the window. Turn and polish it all the way out to the other side. Look through that window. One more time, we're going to look after we've polished that pearl. We're going to take that right hand as we turn forward, send it out and down, scoop in underneath. Left hand turns on top of this ball. We're just going to turn this ball of chi over one time. Shifting, shifting, coming back, shift the weight over to that right leg. Turn, step, move the hands to the side. And we're going to send that right hand out, spin, send that left hand out to spin, send that right hand out to spin. We're loaded properly to give us the opportunity to turn and step. And our hands go back to top and bottom. And we're going to spin that chi ball one time. And weight over so that we can turn. And now our hands go to the side again. Right hand, left hand, right hand. Come back to the center. Reach down, scoop up that energy from the earth, draw it down the Tai Chi pole. Feel how magnificent that feels. Tapping in. We're going to turn again now so that we're rotating to begin our heaven cycle. So we're turning we're going to end up with that right hand underneath so that we can separate heaven and earth one time. Right? And then we're going to take that hand and come over to clean the dragon's beard, stroke the dragon's beard. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're weighted, so we're going to turn. We're going to sweep around so that we've got that right hand underneath for the next separate yin and yang. And then we start stroking the beard again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Weighted properly and make our turn. We're going to end up with the right hand underneath that Qigong after the turn, and we're going to separate and stroke the dragon's beard. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn. End up with the right hand underneath the Qigong. Separate. And come over top to stroke the dragon's beard. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, this is the one where we mix up all of that beautiful yin and yang energy from earth and heaven. One of my students called this the yummy, 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 I've got loving in my tummy move. Let's call this 10, and we're going to gather that earth energy again. Draw that down through the Tai Chi pole. Remember the fancy ending on this one, so we're going to sweep our hands out, turn them up, turn them over, and then come down. You folks. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Super impressive with everybody. Did you get your exercise in?
I did. I loved it. Yes. Okay. Where are we? You don't want to end.
Of course I don't want to end. It's an opportunity to share Tai Chi. No, I don't want to end. But we should probably be respectful of people's time.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Which one
Two
is this?
hands. Hold it.
Okay. Am I doing this?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. See, I'm so blissed out from that primordial Qigong that I'm like, wait, what are we doing next? Do you want to make note when we were trying to decide what we wanted to share, because of course the list of things we wanted to do was about this long, and the list of things we knew we'd have time to do would be about this long. And so we both tried to pick the things that would put the most good energy out into the world to really join that wave of healing energy. Watching and experiencing that primordial Qigong with all of you was absolutely beautiful. So I will say for me, thank you all for that. Let's go ahead and try to balance those yin and yang energies that we've got. We've stirred them all around the body. We've got that energy moving through all the meridians. So the next thing we want to do is to balance that. So of course we are going to get grounded into our horse riding stance, as we say in Tai Chi, or Wuji posture, as we say in Qigong. To do this, we're going to inhale and sweep those hands up to the sides. We're going to exhale and let the hands come down. The fingers will interlace. We're going to start a really slow inhale up to chest height. We're going to flip those hands up as we exhale, pushing them towards the heavens, following them with the hands. Let the hands separate on an inhale, and we're going to finish on an exhale. We're going to interlace those fingers and get together again, lift them on an inhale, Exhale as we follow the hands up above the head. Inhaling as the hands separate. We'll finish on an exhale. One more time up the midline of the body. Inhaling. Exhaling as we push the hands to the heavens. Inhaling as the hands separate. And finishing on a full exhale. We're going to do that exercise again. That was one full round of holding up heavens. Excuse me, 2 hands hold up heavens. We're going to do the exact same exercise, but we're going to vary the breathing pattern a little bit. So this time we're going to take one long breath all the way up and one full exhale as we come down, okay? So then again, we're going to inhale, bring those hands up. Exhale, sweeping them down, letting the fingers interlace. Nice full inhale. Push those hands up towards heaven. We'll exhale, letting the hands separate, bringing them back down. Those fingers interlace again, inhaling. Hands separate as we exhale. And do that one more time up the midline of the body. Finishing that exhale. Okay. Do you think, should we do another round of drawing down heavens to seal that in?
Yes, indeed. Drawing down heavens. Adrian so beautifully led us through before. Again, we invite you to pay attention to what your body's asking for. It may be that it's feeling lovely and balanced, and so you want equal amounts of yin and yang energy. It may be that it's asking for that final tweak into balance, and so it wants a little bit more of one or the other. So adjust your hands accordingly with the signals that you're getting from yourself. We're going to sweep our hands out, inhaling all the way up, gathering yin and yang, and taking that energy right down through the bipolar point at the top of the head, through each of the dantians, knowing that all of the bilateral meridians are attached into those 3 dantians in a way that allows this smoothing and balancing intention that we have to extend out into our entire energetic anatomy, bringing us into the wonderful equipoise that we so often feel at the end of a Tai Chi or a Qigong set. And last time, coming down through the Tai Chi ball. I invite you to remain in the Wu posture with your eyes closed. Big breath. Feel the warm glow of this loving energy that we've not only shared with each other, but sent out into the wider world as our contribution to this wave of life, wave of love, encircling the globe and helping us appreciate that we are all one people, one world, breathing one.
Thank you all so much for coming in on this rainy day, spending the time with us, contributing to this wave of wonderful energy, blatant self-promotion, whatever the fourth or the last Saturday of next April is in 2025. It's going to be World Tai Chi and Qigong Day, and we're going to gather and do it again. So this is your personal invitation to come back and do this with us again next year as well, and every other year as well, because World Tai Chi and Qigong Day is the most amazing day ever.
Absolutely.
So again, thank you all. Thank you.